Okay, so today I'm going to show you something really cool for the Mac users out there who like to use the church's PAF genealogy file, that is without running and installing a Windows operating system on here. I'm going to show you how to install PAF 5.2 on Mac OS X. One thing I must stress is that in order to be able to do this, you must be running an Intel Macintosh. Okay, this will not work on any of the Power PC like G4, 5, etc. If you have any doubt, the way you check is up here in your Apple menu about this Mac. Right here it'll tell you the processor where it says, you can see here that I'm running an Intel. So this will work. Now the first thing you need in order to do this is a program called, ironically for church members, Wine, W-I-N-E. There's several variations of this around online, including Crossover, which is probably the best one out there. You can see my icon right there. Now, I'm actually running Crossover Games, which ironically it actually works on this. But what you do is you download and install Crossover, which does actually, it does cost some money in order to download it, but it's usually about 20 bucks, which is a lot better than 100 bucks for Windows XP or Windows Vista. But once you download it and install that, what Crossover does is that will actually give you an environment where you can install Windows programs on here into what's called bottles. Okay, and basically a bottle is, goes along with the whole wine thing, where you can actually, install a program into it and kind of emulate Windows. But more important than the technical details, let me show you what's going on. So first thing you want to do is go into Safari or whatever browser you have, and just go ahead and download PAF via FamilySearch.org. Just like you were doing this as a Windows user, you would go ahead and click download. And then that will save it to your downloads folder in Mac OS X. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop this because I've already downloaded it. But then you'll notice down here in your dock you have your downloads folder, and we have the PAF 5 English setup.exe file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hide Safari and go into Crossover. Okay, and I'm just closing that because that's just a little welcome screen, but you can still see up here that the Crossover Games is still the active application. Okay, so the first thing we want to do in order to do this is to create a bottle. And the way we do that is within Crossover or Crossover Games, go to Configure, Manage Bottles. Okay, now here it's telling me that there are no bottles installed because I haven't put any there yet. You just come over here where you see the plus, click it, and it gives you a new bottle. So we're going to go ahead and name this PAF 5.2 just so we have that. And you can pick your bottle type, which is just the version of Windows you want to emulate. Usually Windows XP is the best one. Click Create and let it work its magic. Okay, and once it says over here, we show our PAF 5.2 bottle. Current status ready, so it is up and running. So basically we have our active bottle running an emulated version of Windows XP, so we can actually install Windows-based programs into this bottle. And the way we do that, so in order to run the install program to get PAF installed into our new bottle, we're going to go File, Open. And then it's going to give you a standard open dialog like you see in all other Mac programs, which is cool, should be familiar to all of us. You get an option here that says open with bottle. We only have one, but if you have multiple later on. But then you're going to go ahead and click on PAF 5 English setup.exe in your downloads folder, which the .exe means that it is a Windows program. So we're going to click open and let it work its magic, and here we go. We're actually in the installation program. So at this point you're going to proceed just like installing any Windows program. We're going to choose English, etc. and just let it work its magic. Hit next. License agreement. Yes, we agree. Now, one thing to note is it'll have, just like on a Windows folder, it'll say C:/program files, etc. Basically, that is entirely emulated within Crossover. So basically, this will go where it needs to. That's all we really need to know. Family search group. Alright, we're going to click off viewing to get started. We're going to click off putting a shortcut because that doesn't work. And then, of course, leaving the LDS information so that we have that at hand. Click Next. And it says that the program is installed. It's going to briefly show us this icon bit in Finder. We're going to close that. Go back to Crossover and click Finish. Okay, so PAF is actually now installed on here. And I'm going to quit out of Crossover for a purpose. Okay, so kind of to show from the start, I'm going to show you how to get into PAF once it's installed. What you want to do is go into your Applications folder, which, as you should probably know, is on your Macintosh HD or your main hard drive. And you first want to launch Crossover. You can close the welcome screen if you want. And then now you're going to notice up here you have a Programs menu. Click on here, and that looks very similar to, it basically has the same functionality as the Start menu in Windows. So you just go ahead and choose Programs, Family Search, and then PAF 5. And magically, you are now running PAF. Now this will treat, just like in Windows, it'll treat your My Documents folder just like your regular Documents folder in Mac OS X. So you can click on a file and open it. And this is actually a blank file, but at this point, this is running just like running PAF 5 on a Windows machine. So you'll see all the same functionality as that. Has all the same tools and preferences and everything. So basically, at this point, you're good to go. You can actually work in this just like you were working on a Windows machine. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this video and were able to get some information out of it.